Bortle here at YCS Minneapolis with, whoa, please introduce yourself to the world and what did you do?
My name is Jibriel, aka Jib, and I got top 16 with Tearlaments.
Oh, let's go. And what did you decide to use this deck, man, for the event?
I thought the Tearlament was just like overall really good. The new support like really boosted the deck to a point where I thought it was just the best deck, and it performed pretty well.
I'd say so. Top 16, let's go.
Let's go.
Any shout outs before we begin?
Yeah, so definitely shout out to my team and sponsor, Team Scheme. Oh God, yes. Shout out to Bortle for having me. Shout out to the barbershop, all the people that I tested with and built my deck with, Cody, Elise, Paulie, Lund, all of my guys. Shout out, and special shout out to Enzo. He's him, you know, so.
Sweet, without further ado, please take a look at the rest of the goo.
Alright, so I played 3 copies of Rhino Heart. He's the main normal summon. 3 copies of Sharon. 3 copies of Merrily. 3 copies of Halvanus. Just 3 of all the Tearlament names. You have to max out on all of them. Rhino Heart gets a lot better post Darkwing Blast as a card to mill, because there are a lot more Tearlament cards that you can hard draw that get value from being discarded. For the spicy tech, we played 1 Night Sword Serpent. So we wanted to play an extender in the deck that wasn't a dark monster like Zephyros, Destrudo, or Gizmek, because those just get hit by the new Bystial monsters. So we wanted to play Night Sword Serpent because it's another thing that you can discard, and it's a water level 4, which is relevant for some cards in the extra deck.
Oh yeah.
For the Bystials, I played 3 copies of Magnamut and 1 copy of Druidworm. These cards are pretty good. I didn't really draw them a lot, but in theory they're really broken. Magnamut is like one of the best cards in the game right now, in the tier mirror, or just in general, because it's a DD Crow and then it searches another DD Crow in the end phase, and it's a level 6, so it's like really good. Then for the spells, played 3 copies of Pale Rhino, broken card, searches everything, 3 copies of Super Polymerization, and 3 copies of Talents for the defensive cards. I thought these were really good. Cody decided to play Dark Ruler over the Talents, but I thought that Talents was just better in general, because like going second into the board, you can take their monsters if they dweller you, like, because they're still gonna like interact with some of the stuff you do in the main phase, and you can just link all their stuff away. And then like going first, that's where this card really shines, when they like bisted you, because you can like take their bisteds and link them away for different cool plays, or you can just like overlay them and just link climb. Then for the rest of the spells, I played 1 copy of Insta-Fusion, 3 copies of Scream. This is the new spell. If you control Tearlament and another monster summoned, you mill 3, and then if it's sent to the graveyard, you add a Tearlament trap. So this card like pairs really well with like Rhino Heart and Pair Rhino, because like if it's sent to the graveyard, you just search Sulik or another trap they were playing in the main, and then play 1 copy of Heartbeats. This is just spell and trap removal. It outs Mystic Mind, and it also procs a fusion, because you can like discard any monster to shuffle a spell or trap, and then like if you discard a tier, you fusion. Okay. And then in the graveyard, if it's milled, it adds back a trap. So then for the traps, I played 2 copies of Sulik, 1 copy of Scream for the Tearlament traps. This is standard. This is new. This card came out in Power of the Elements, but it wasn't really that good, because you would always rather search Sulik over it. But now that we have 3 Scream in the deck, you can consistently end on both. And this card is just Infernity Barrier, so it's like no reason not to have it. And then for the last 3 trap cards in the deck, I played 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. I wanted coverage. I wanted to be able to hit matchups like Flunderies. And this card is also good against like High Spirits, because if they High Spirit you in the draw phase and summon Kikalos, you can't Bisted them, but you can still like Imperm the Kikalos, and then it like messes up the combo. It makes them have to have another Tearlament name to play. And then like I had to give some cards back, but it was 3 more cards in the main, which was 1 Terraforming for the field spell, and then 2 copies of Pot of Desires.
Okay, Pot of Desires. Did you regret the Desires, or
Yeah, I hated it. It was the worst card in my deck. Every time I resolved it, it never got Aj, and I still felt bad. Like I just banished too many names. I wouldn't play it again. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Kit Kalos, 1 copy of Rulu, 1 copy of Kaleido for the Tearlaments. Rulu's the new one. It's a Solemn Warning, negates summon effects, and then it revives itself, and then it has a secret effect that no one knows, where all your other Aqua monsters can't die by battle. Ooh. So like it's just a very powerful card. For the rest of the fusions, I played 1 Grura, 1 Dragosepelia, and 1 Mud Dragon. This is all standard. These 2 are like really super poly targets, which you can make them. This card is broken against the Runic Sprite deck, in my top 16, if I made this card instead of making this card, I might have been in top 8, you know. But yeah, and then Draco Sapelia. It doesn't really come up that much, but you need it because sometimes you need to make a fusion disruption on your opponent's turn. So you need Draco Sapelia as the last fusion. Then for the links, played 1 elf, 1 sprint, 1 dark, and 1 underworld goddess. These 2 are standard. This is a new card. Sprint is a fool's barrel for a level 2. It has some applications with another card in the extra deck. It's a cool combo you can do. And then 1 underworld goddess. This card is really just for the early game. We in testing, we were like, the deck is really solid, but sometimes you can have a problem dealing with towers monsters. Cards like Cook a Crook, cards like Arrival, Avramax made with IP. We just wanted a card that we didn't get sacked in the early games. Also, Borderland Dragon is sometimes hard to out. So we just wanted a card that we couldn't get sacked like in the early rounds. Okay. Like it never was summoned, but like it was just there. So like those cards were never a threat to me. And then for the Xyz, played $1 for the mirror match. 1 Beatrice. You play Beatrice because the Bystials are level 6 and Guerril's level 6, so you can like make Beatrice a lot of the times if you hard draw a Bystid. And then the last 2 cards in the extra deck that combo with the Serpent is Bahamut and Toad. Oh. So yeah, the Serpent's a level 4 water. You can make it with Rhino Heart or Mud Dragon, some Bahamut, some Toad. Sometimes you can't get to Crime turn 1 and you always need an Omni Negate. So this is just something good to go in blind, other than so you don't have to go into Dweller. Like I was never Dwellering people blind, because like even in the mirror, like going for this blind is better, because if they super poly your Dweller and your Rulu for Mud Dragon, you get no value other than the Rulu coming back. But if you have Toad, then this can at least add back Rhino Heart, so you get like some additional value. So that's it for the extra deck. And then as for the side deck, played 1 time card, Gaga Cowboy. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to like play. Everyone's playing has their own time card, but I set it in a couple times. I never really resolved it because I never really went to time. And the one time I did go to time, like for real time, was in top 16, and I got double red resonated. Oh. So yeah, I was out of there. This was not saving me. 3 copies of Gamma with Driver. It's just generically good, going second into everything. Then for the back row hate, we played the second. I played the second copy of Heartbeats, 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 3 copies of Evenly Matched. So the main deck is kind of really weak to Flunder. So we overcompensated by siding a bunch of cards that can go in against Flunder. Like all of this goes in going second against Flunder. Yeah, everything here except for the Cowboy goes in going second against Flunder. And then the last 3 cards inside was a card I had to give back again, which was 3 copies of Mystic Mine. So against Flunder, 14 out of the 15 cards in the side deck went in. It can seem like oversiding, but the matchup was like really so bad with the main deck. Like main decking cards like Talents, Super Polys, and like Bystials, all that stuff has to come out and is replaced by this stuff. So it makes those matchups like really good. But that's it for the deck.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, thanks for the explanation. Thanks for being on the channel, man.
Yeah, for real. Peace.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bortle.
Oh God, yes. Until next time, everyone. Bortle.